I will not stop playing Gambit until I get my God roll bottom dollar. Now, this is my current bottom dollar that I have right now. Now, do you notice something? Yeah, look closely. That's right. It's garbage. Look at that. It's gone forever. I will not stop until I get that God roll. That was the worst promise I ever made. Hey, Blade of Spades here, certified dipshit. The intro you just saw was recorded on April 8th of this year. It has taken me over 2 months to make this video. I played Gambit and Destiny for an entire month for a God roll bottom dollar. I played over 500 matches of Gambit in a row for this stupid God roll. And spoiler alert, I didn't even get the roll I wanted! I had to make do with fucking Feeding Frenzy. Who the fuck uses Feeding Frenzy? I didn't even find one with Rampage. Bungie, what the actual fuck? And while I could show you me playing with the gun and getting 2 taps on other players like this, Jez already made a video on that, and I have the aim of a blind man. So instead of that, take a seat, grab some popcorn, contemplate why you even clicked on this video, and let me tell you the story of my God roll bottom dollar. Now hold on, I know some people aren't addicted to Destiny like it's some sort of digital cocaine as I am, so here's the rundown. Destiny has guns. Big shocker! And one of those guns is the bottom dollar, which you can only get by participating in a special game mode called Gambit. In Gambit, you kill as many generated enemies as possible, collect white triangles they drop called motes, and shove them into this thing. While that happens, another team of players does the same thing. When a team banks 100 motes, they summon a big boss called the Primeval, and the first team to kill their own Primeval wins. It's basically a race, but with guns and aliens. Sounds simple enough, right? Of course it's not that simple! When you bank a certain threshold of motes, you can summon a blocker to the enemy side, based on how many motes you have. Blockers are enemies that will stop the enemy team from banking their motes. You have 3 types of blockers, small, medium, and large, for 5, 10, and 15 motes respectively. If you have 2 or more blockers on the enemy side, you can begin to drain the other team's motes and add them to your own bank. Any team that wants to bank motes, or stop the drain, will have to kill the blockers in order to have access to their bank. And now for the bane of everyone's existence in this godforsaken game mode. Invaders. Each team can occasionally send one of their players as an invader to the other side to kill the opposing players. When a player dies, they lose all their motes, slowing the team down. The invader can be killed, of course, but they have buffs such as this shield and wall hacks, which gives them the edge. The first team to bank 25 motes gets the first invade, and if they bank another 25, they get another. And they can keep invading, over, and over, and over. And then you can have things like this. They have a Primeval. We don't even have 10 motes. Can someone please tell me how this is fair? It's like having a foot race with your best friend, but they pull out a crowbar and break your knees. I forgot to say this during the original recording, but when the Primeval is out, invades are on a timed cooldown, and killing Guardians will instead heal the Primeval. Alright, back to the video. The game becomes a cooperative effort with your team to kill the most enemies faster than the opposing team, while making sure the opposing team doesn't shit on everyone. Now you may be thinking, but Blade, that sounds really fun. Why would you hate that? 1, that's not my real name. And 2, if you just Google Destiny 2 Gambit, one of the first results is, why is Gambit so bad? I didn't even have to write a joke for this. It's right in front of you. From invading being so toxic to the point where the enemy team can have their Primeval while you have 5 motes, to weapons that are so stupidly broken and brain dead in this game mode that it makes me want to tear out my own eyes, to the glorious 4 stacks that end matches in 2 minutes, People find it hard to find a redeeming quality in this mess. And to top it all off, the rewards. It's completely random whether or not I get a legendary purple weapon to drop, and even if one did, it's not guaranteed to be part of the Gambit loot pool, and can instead be from the World loot pool, which I could get from any other activity. I am stupid. Apparently, I forgot to say this too. In the Gambit loot pool, there's another gun called Trinary System, which is a complete fucking joke and nobody uses it. So, to sum it up, it's a game mode that combines both PvE and PvP aspects in the worst way possible, and rewards poorly. And I played it. For a month. For a gun. With a perfect roll. Does that put my pain in perspective? Because if that doesn't, I don't know what will. Did I mention there's 12 possible perks in the last 2 columns? Looking at all the possible perks and doing the math, you have a 1 in 10,000 chance, or a 0.01% chance of actually getting the roll you want. And that's assuming you get it, because it's still all random! There is no way to guarantee a bottom dollar to drop! I wanted a god roll bottom dollar because at the time, it was a 120 rounds per minute or RPM hand cannon, which was the meta in PvP. I thought it would be cool to have a god roll version of the bottom dollar because, I mean, look at it. It's fucking sick. The other 120 RPM hand cannon that you can get in this slot is the Igneous Hammer, which is gained from Trials of Osiris, and I'm not even gonna touch that can of worms. Just imagine PvP, but it's sweatier than an anime convention. You're welcome. But what is a god roll? In the Destiny community, a god roll refers to any weapon with the perfect combination of perks. But even this is subjective. Technically, any roll can be seen as a god roll depending on the player's playstyle. But for my playstyle, the god roll I'm looking for is Polygonal Rifling, Accurized Rounds, Outlaw, and Rampage. Rampage would allow me to gain damage bonuses for just getting kills, and Outlaw would allow me to get past the gun's low reload speed. Polygonal Rifling and Accurized Rounds increase stability and range respectively, which just balances out the gun, but frankly I don't care about these 2 perks that much. Here's a chart of all the possible bottom dollar perks, and highlighted are the perks I would be okay with. The main objective was to get a bottom dollar with a perk that increases my reload speed, and another perk that increases damage. But enough of that. Let's get to the actual video. When I began this, I was excited because at the time, I actually liked Gambit. I know, psychotic. I just got done listing everything terrible about the game mode. But it used to be my favorite. Now here's the thing, most people disagree with me, but I actually like Gambit. I mean, yeah, it has its problems. Very big problems, but I have the Dredgen title. Unironically, I really do like this game mode. It's just sad that most people hate it. Oh, you poor idiots. Anyway, I completed my first match without too many issues. Defeated the enemies, banked the moats, summoned the Primeval, and killed it pretty quickly. I didn't get a bottom dollar, but I really wasn't expecting one first match either. So it was fine. Game 2 went. It sure went. They had summoned their Primeval, and we had 5 moats. I was not kidding earlier when I said this could happen. We managed to summon our own Primeval, but by the time we did, they already killed theirs and we lost. Then, in Game 3, we summoned our Primeval early, making it seem like I was going to be on the opposite side, and I could make a point about how this game mode is really easy to snowball, ends up being one-sided, based on kind of luck. Nope! It went from this to this. And they won! What the fuck is my team doing? Do they even have keyboards? Anyway, I continued playing matches, and I crawled through each match. And by my 12th game, as I stood upon the corpse of this giant floating meatball Primeval, I received my prize. 3 blues and a useless legendary. What? Did you expect me to get one this early? Hell no. What the hell do you think this video's about? I ended up playing 26 matches on my Hunter character, and had nothing to show for it. I hadn't even reached 50 matches, and I was already sick of this shit. So after I cried in the corner for an hour, I decided to switch to my Warlock for a change of pace and to see if I had better luck. And after 30 straight matches, I was finally rewarded. The drifter came down and blessed me with a bottom dollar. I was never more excited for a gun drop in this game. And then every ounce of joy left when I saw the roll.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that? If you're ever looking to make extra glimmer.
Surplus and disruption break. Surplus is a good perk, but I personally dislike it since it requires you to save your abilities, and I like using my abilities. And disruption break, it's bad. It's just bad. I don't even know why they bother with this perk. They put it on so many guns. It's just a terrible perk. I don't think I've seen one person seriously to use disruption break in their life. But let's look at the facts. I played 30 games straight and finally got a bottom dollar, but the roll ended up being barely usable. I sunk about 4 to 5 hours into this and barely got a consolation prize. I should have taken this as a sign to quit this idea, bury it in the backyard, and forget about it, but I decided to keep going. I played a total of 45 matches that day before I was too tired to play more. But let's pause for a second. You see that? Do you notice that on the side? Here, let me play this clip from my 10th game where we ended up losing pretty badly. And I'll pause the screen right here. Go on. Find the problem in this. I'll wait. That's right. I'm rewarded the same for winning as I was for losing. Hey, Bungie, what the fuck? If I'm rewarded 3 terrible blues for winning a match and rewarded 3 terrible blues for losing a match, then why am I even playing? I could just leave my computer and I could get the same rewards. Why would I even bother playing if that's true? Now, given most times when you win, they give you at least a legendary piece of equipment or an engram, which can also give you a legendary piece of equipment. But the fact that I even have proof that this bullshit can happen is the problem. I'm not asking for much. Just make sure that this can't happen. After experiencing that, my hopes for this idea were dead. But I kept playing anyway. The next day went just as expected. Killing enemies, banking moats, and just gambits. But Bungie apparently didn't like me today. No! You cannot convince me that this is normal. I aimed my rocket launcher at the primeval, and suddenly this fucking taken thrall decides to say, "Get down, Mr. President," and take me and it down. I swore Bungie themselves hacked into the game to fuck with me. Although I did end up getting 2 bottom dollars to drop that game, which gave me hope again. The 2 rolls weren't bad, but they weren't really good. At least it wasn't Disruption Break. But with that, I felt a lot luckier that day, and I thought I could actually do this. I really need to stop, having hope. After a couple more matches, I decided to eat some crayons, snort some glue, and play Titan. I'm going to be real honest. I have no fucking clue what I was doing. Then again, I'm pretty sure no Titan knows what they're doing. It was as if my brain was rewired. I just kept punching shit until it died. And it kept working. Then, Bungie cock-blocked me once again. Just watch this. No! What the fuck? Yep. The primeval went immune right after I activated my super. Anyway, I got a shitty bottom dollar and went on with my life. I decided to switch back to my hunter after a bit and go full circle. It just kept playing. There's not much to it. It's just gambit. After game 92, I got another bottom dollar, but hipfire grip is terrible. I was pissed. So let's look over this for a second. After 100 games of Gambit, I had 5 bottom dollars, and all of them were pretty bad. I know rewards shouldn't be common enough to the point where they become meaningless like blue rarity weapons, but 1 bottom dollar per 20 games is ridiculous. If each match takes an average of about 6 minutes, that's 2 hours, per bottom dollar that, again, has a 0.01% chance of having the roll you want, and has a high amount of perks that aren't good. 100 games in, and this challenge felt like a waste of my time. And it was. But I'm a man of my word, so I promptly threw the bottom dollars into the garbage and continued my suffering. And I just kept playing. And 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 playing. I tried to make it more interesting by switching to my other characters or switching around my weapons to have more variety in my gameplay. Kept me interested for a few rounds, but at the end of the day, I was still playing Gambit for hours on end. At some point, I became so delusional that I decided to use a bow and arrow. In a game with space wizards and assortments of guns to put thousands of holes into aliens, I chose a stick and string. The worst part is, it fucking worked.
Go take him out. This is what the Taken feel. Revel in this. That's one. That's two. High-value targets making a break for it. Cut them off. You make this look easy. 10 seconds left. High-value target got away. You'll, get the next one. Welcome back. Woo! The best gun
I am so sorry to that team. You didn't deserve that. But then again, you were winning 0 to 100, so I had ascended beyond normal Destiny players. I had become a god among men. Arrows flew through the air and struck my enemies flawlessly. Until Bungie decided to kill my game.
But they got 2 kills. Get those motes to the bank. It's time for a prime evil.
What? What's happening? My game froze. What? Destiny? Nothing's happening. I can't. It just crashed. Yeah, that happened. I got nothing. I don't even know how to write a joke for this. My game crashed. I ended up booting up the game again and everything seemed fine, but I just switched over to a real gun because the bullets are better anyway. Then the weekly reset happened and the Iron Banner arrived. For those of you who don't play Destiny, the Iron Banner is a PvP event that comes once a month that has its own loot pool run by this dipshit who sounds like he smokes 10 packs a day.
Guardian, welcome to the Iron Banner. You lost, but what is lost to an immortal? The end has come. When you're ready to go to the best, I'll be gone. Perhaps one day I wish the Iron Lords could have met you.
I had to make a choice. Continue this stupid challenge, or quit and drag my corpse through PvP. Yeah, remember when I said I had the aim of a blind man? So I told Lord Saladin to fuck off and return to the Drifter for another torture session. No, I'm not a masochist. I just hate myself. At this point, I really began seeing how little people liked Gambit. This team straight up left. We were steamrolling them, and one by one they all decided to get the fuck out of there. And looking back on it, I don't blame them. I would have too. In this game, the other team just straight up abandons this guy. Seriously, they just left him. Alone. No one ended up joining back, so we had to fight this 4v1. On the bright side, I ended up making a friend.
This is what the Taken feel. Revel in this. Ten seconds.
If you are or know this Titan,
Yes, sir. That's
tell
what
them
I
I'm
call
sorry.
hunting.
Nothing of interest truly happened other than more effectively useless bottom dollars, and my rage turning into solidified salt in my bloodstream. At this point, I had played over 300 games of Gambit, and I stopped recording my mic audio and didn't even attempt to make commentary. I mean, I didn't really have anything interesting to say.
Portals up.
What was I gonna
Look
talk
him in the
about?
eyes.
I can't even make it interesting in post-commentary. How the fuck am I...
I spot a high-value
Well, would you look at that?
Give 'em
A
hell.
terrible segue into a rant. Bungie, why is this allowed? I know you all ignore Gambit like Smash Bros. Players ignore general hygiene, but you're letting players walk around with a free 2-tap gun with an explosive radius that basically works from anywhere on the map. You fire in people's general direction and it'll fucking work. It's an explosive hit scan weapon with a range the size of fucking Canada. It may not get precision crits, but that just means people using this piece of shit can think even less. The gun rewards you for lobotomizing yourself and shooting anything that moves in Gambit. And I really like Xenophage. But Jesus Christ, I can't use the thing without feeling like I'm committing a war crime. It's fine literally anywhere else in the game. Just fucking fix it. Reduce the amount of ammo you can get while equipping it in Gambit or something. Because this just isn't fair. I mean, look at this. They have a Well of Radiance down. That Well of Radiance gives them overshields and maximum healing. And I just walk in with my Xenophage and spam in their general direction and kill 3 of them. Their 4th player spams in my general direction and also kills me. There was no skill involved in this interaction. The collective IQ here is a whopping -14. And my team won because of that. My team won because I clicked the shoot button in people's general direction. And while we're on the topic of weapons that are bullshit in Gambit, let's talk about Eyes of Tomorrow. A rocket launcher that can lock on to multiple players and send so many rockets that anyone you target is instantly vaporized. You just have to look at people for a couple of seconds, it'll lock onto them, and then you just press the shoot button and let the gun do the work for you. I would show a clip of this, but I don't have Eyes of Tomorrow, and I don't want to search through my footage again. So here's a representation I made in Microsoft Paint. And most people who play Destiny already know about this, but I just want to emphasize to everyone what I had to go through for 500 plus games while I continued grinding bottom dollars, which were mostly all terrible rolls and just fodder for material. And then a week passed without any real progress. It was more of a chore than a game. I legitimately woke up in the morning and was reminded, oh shit, I gotta play Gambit. It wasn't fun anymore. And a sane person would have stopped to take a break. But I didn't because I was determined and I wanted to see that God roll bottom dollar because I had already sunk this much time into it. Then the Guardian games rolled around because I'm terrible at planning and I started this idea in the busiest month in the season. Guardian games is a dick measuring contest between Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. And that's pretty much it. But this was my first Guardian games, since I haven't really been playing Destiny 2 for a while. And I was spending it playing Gambit. The bad news is, I couldn't really switch to the other 2 classes and had to play my Hunter, because 1, Hunter Master Race, and 2, I'm pretty sure the other Hunter's mains would send a strike squad to my house if I didn't. I mean, most of my time was on my Hunter anyways, but, you know, it still made it boring. But as for the games that week, nothing really changed. It was still Gambit. The only thing different is that these laurels appear on this side of the screen, both being annoying in-game and annoying out of it, because it lagged my recording. Thanks, Bungie! But I just had to suck it up and deal with it. You're watching this video at 30 frames per second anyway. I banked thousands of modes. Invaded hundreds of times. Got killed by Xenophage millions of times. And it really gave me time to think. Why the fuck was I doing this? Did I enjoy inflicting this mental pain on myself? Was it even worth it? Sure, I would have a really good bottom dollar, but what if they nerfed it? What then? Was this even worth my time? Time I could be spending making the world a better place? There's so much I could have done, but I didn't, because I spent that time sitting in front of a computer, grinding for bits of ones and zeros that really mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Did it even really exist? What was I doomed to torture myself for eternity, searching for a treasure I will never attain? But then I got to play with Heir Apparent, and I was happy. That's the one good thing that came out of the Guardian games. I got a fucking minigun. And it was one hell of a time using it in Gambit. I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's a minigun. Anyone would enjoy ripping enemies to shreds with this thing. But eventually, after 25-ish games, that got boring too and I switched to other weapons. But after that, I continued playing Gambit. My entire brain was hardwired for Gambit. Each cell in my body was banking motes. And game after game, I crawled my way through. And just when I was about to call it quits and give up on this idea, the Drifter blessed me on game 509.
Brother, you've got some moves. Watch your back. Invader incoming. Haven't seen shooting.
And I
like
forgot
that
to
since an
record
Iron
the
Lady
audio of
ever
my
ruined
reaction.
my bar.
I shit you not, on the most important day of this entire challenge, I fucking forgot to record the audio. Just imagine a bunch of happy sobbing. That's basically what I was doing. My final god roll bottom dollar had hammer forged rifling, accurized rounds, feeding frenzy, and multi-kill clip. It was not the perfect roll. It was not the roll I really wanted, but it had a reload perk and a damage perk. At this point, I was so sick of this shit, I was just gonna take it. It was good enough. This experience really broke me. Each match came down to luck for me, because I didn't have a team to communicate, and it was luck getting the bottom dollar in the first place anyway. But after over 50 bottom dollars, and about 500 matches, it was done. I never had to go back and do something like this again. It took me a month playing Gambit for this god roll, which I struggled to even call a god roll. It was 50 straight hours of Gambit gameplay, and I'm not even including wait times. But regardless, until a better one drops into my hands, this is what I'm sticking with. But based on this experience, I won't be farming Gambit anytime soon. And some of you may be expecting I kinda miss it, Stockholm Syndrome bullshit joke. No! What? Hell fucking no. If I could go back in time, I would slap the shit out of myself for even thinking about this. Even editing this together fucking sucks. I have to sift through 50 hours of footage. Me typing this damn script is a pain in the ass. But that's not the point. I now held my god roll bottom dollar. And I was going to celebrate by doing literally anything but Gambit. So let's take a moment to appreciate this gun with a montage of me using it in the PvP Crucible. And I have the aim of a blind man. Wait. And that's when it hit me. After all that work, after all that grinding, I came to realize something. You know what? I like the steady hand better.
The universe is getting dangerous, but it's nothing a few surgical strikes won't fix.
Hey guys, sorry for the late post. I meant to post this video a month sooner, but life got busy, I didn't have time to edit this together. But now that I finally have time and have posted this video, I hope you all enjoy it. And if you did, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm gonna need a lot of subscribers if I want to use ad revenue to pay for the therapy I need after this. And while you're sticking around the dark parts of YouTube, why don't you check out Shadows? He's got a bunch of cool music on his channel, and he's the guy who made my new outro. Really sick guy, tell him I sent you. But anyway, I don't really know how to end this video, so I'm gonna let the outro play out. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more. Peace.